I almost didn't turn on my microphone. Hello there, magic monsters. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Are you doing good? I'm doing good. Let's see. I don't hear any music. I don't see any music happening. Why isn't my music happening? You need to have some music. Oh, I didn't press play. Yes, I did. Let's see. We are... Well, I don't see any music happening in my internal audio. The decibels are negative 16.8. And that's a shame. Why not? This last time we streamed, this was working perfectly fine. Tell me in the comments, can you hear music? Hello, John. How are you doing? Man. Maybe is my volume down? Is that the issue? Nope. That's not the issue. Am I in the wrong audio setting on my Mac? That could be the issue. Try this one. Oh, there we are. It was the wrong audio setting. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Hey, Joachim. How are you? All right. So welcome. Getting back into things after the holidays. The holidays were fun. Didn't work as much on anything. Got addicted to Civilization 6. It's a tale as old as time. And also, honestly, I was having a shitty internet connection. And based on my own video here that I see in my YouTube, I still have a relatively shitty internet connection, but I think it's a little bit better. My upload speed had gotten down to 0.4 megabits per second, which meant every web page took 10 to 15 seconds to load. Didn't matter what it was. And that was a pain in the bazooki. So I couldn't really do any streaming. Now I think it's 4 megabits per second there, or megabit per second or something like that, which is sufficient, but I'm blurry. So anyways, my goal here was to say, okay, well, I haven't streamed in a bit and I want to get back into it. So let's start with Discord. And on Discord, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things to check. Some support requests, some other things. So I figured we'll go through this. And we did this before. I did this before. And people seemed to like it. It was fun. So let's do that. We're working on the humans. Yes. Is there documentation to help newbies with issues like this? Play audio walk has no receiver. There's no tutorial on this specific thing. The animation itself has an animation event on it. There's no receiver script on the character that has the required method, so that is thrown. What is the animation receiver or the animation events? The solution is either to have a script with that message, with that method, play audio, or remove the animation event. And the animation event, for those of you who don't know, I think most people probably have seen animations. Hello, Jihad, how are you? I think most people have seen animation events by this point, right? I don't add them anymore, or not often, because I used to have a lot of audio, but I found the audio to be very expensive to make. There was a human making them. Humans can be expensive. And as much as people liked the audio, they weren't something that made packages sell more, unfortunately. So it was something I couldn't keep investing in. But a lot of the old characters do have audio, and so I would set up the audio events in order to drive, various clips. So for the bone dragon, if we go to the bone dragon, to my cold storage here, we have our models. These animations are still on the model. So if we go to attack, actually we gotta click up here, collapse that, and you go in the animation event. Here we go. We have these here. So you can right click these to to delete, etc. So I'm going to take a screenshot here and do some circling. Apple, in some recent update in the past year or so, made it so you had to click this button to get into this view, which made no sense because what's the value in hiding that? You know, it's just one extra click. Anyways, Apple. Sometimes they do great things. Sometimes they do annoying things. So animation tab, we'll do a text there, and then click on these, and then delete. And text box. What was it? It was events, right? Or something. What was it? Animation tab, just animation. And we will upload this for Rogamer. I don't know how to pronounce his screen name. All right. So yeah, so I didn't completely fix. I didn't do anything for the internet. It was the internet company. And I don't think they completely fixed it. I think it's still a little crappy. But what can you do? So now let's see, game modules discussion. So I want to do this later. This one, basically the user, I've got game modules up in for to do this. The user wants to have a, in the dictionaries module, the user wants to be able to add in the lookup tables, which is not something that you can do right now. I think that's relatively easy to add, so I'm going to try to do that. But this is a new question. Is a URPG compatible with modules 4? They both work for me alone, but they're other URPG. I've never used URPG. What is URPG? So let's go to the assets. So we're going to go to Infinity PBR and then click the C, all assets. That's my affiliate link. So you have to click that if you're going to go to the... Oh, that's you? Which one's you? Oh, you are Rogamer? John? I can't see the image is very small, but it might be the same. Or are you one of these guys? Anyways, let's look up URPG. Ah, okay, cool. Well, there you go. What's URPG? I'm not finding it here on the asset store. What's this? Draw XXL. I've not seen this before. By the way, the New Year sale ends soon. I don't know when. Soon. And is it the first sale of the year or the last sale? Unity RPG Maker? Is that the... This is neat. Making lines. Not sure what I would do with it. Oh, okay, I can see stuff. Unity RPG Maker. Is that this one? RPG Maker Unite? From Gotcha Games. Awesome. Tell me how I can find it. I'll answer the question. The short answer is probably yes. They are probably compatible, but they might require some custom scripting to bridge the two. At its core, Game Modules 4 is essentially data storage, data manipulation, data handling in various ways. A lot of them are set up for things that game developers often use, like saving, loading, time management, stuff like that, in relatively more human understandable concepts like stats and conditions and items. They can be used in many different ways, but they are just data. And so like for an inventory system, you don't need to use the inventory system that comes with game modules. That's a drag and drop inventory system. It's very opinionated. Every inventory system is going to be very opinionated, but every inventory system should at its core just be a set of numbers, right, and data about what's in the inventory, how many, and all the different values that that system and that game might need. So Game Modules 4 allows that, and you can use any inventory system, but you might need to write some, helper code to bridge the two together. Better in the asset stores. So for making money, I assume the better means you made more money. And the answer there is both can work well. Mark unread. There it is. For a tool publisher, often I think it's one tool that does really well that makes or breaks things, right? You get one asset that's just big and you focus on that. For me, it's not Game Modules 4 yet. None of them are that big yet. But I'm hoping that one of them can be like, okay, this one is the bread and butter. I'm keeping doing the other stuff, but this is the one that's the main core thing. Just one or two things. For an art publisher, it's about the library size, you know. You might have the best dragon in the world, but if your dragon doesn't work, doesn't aesthetically look like any other character out there, or doesn't have, you know, a common library of other content, then it's very limited in its use case, because people generally, I think developers generally, will want content that looks kind of good together. It's very subjective. Some people might say the Protofactor stuff and my stuff looks great together. Others will say, well, I don't agree with that. I think Protofactor and Infinity PBR look different. I don't know. Sometimes they look the same, sometimes they don't. It's really a subjective thing. But I think for an art publisher, once a developer likes your stuff, then they might get all of their stuff as they get more confident that their game is actually going to be coming out and they need more characters to populate the worlds. Hello, Magic Tim. How are you doing? A module-only dictionaries. What do you mean when you say it needs other classes, like the stats and all that? URPG listed as deprecated. Oh, URPG is deprecated. Well, I don't know then. Asset store. Is there any other place? Who is it by? Who made URPG? Yeah, so that is tightly coupled with them, because the dictionaries allows for those objects to be stored, those object types, and so the code explicitly includes game module objects as a type that it can store or hold, and then because that doesn't actually, those are scriptable objects, so it doesn't actually store the scriptable object. It stores the unique ID to the scriptable object. And so that's what it's actually storing, and then at runtime, it will automatically reconnect it for you, so you don't have to do that handling of it, if that makes sense, because you can't serialize the scriptable object itself. Coffee. Does that make sense? I mean, you can see the asset store. Some things on the asset store have. Let's see. Let's look at tools and just see what's popular, right? Popularity, 91, 1,000. But Easy Save's been around for a long time, right? It's hard to get reviews. I'll tell you that much. Playmaker, 3,395 ratings and reviews. But it's been on the store for what? It's been 13 years, 12 years, however many years, a long time. But yeah, I mean, I think you could do quite well with not a mega project, but just a number of decent tools that sell decently well. I mean, it also depends on where you live and how much money you need to make to consider it well. If you're in a more expensive area, then you might need to make 3 times as much as somebody else just to pay your rent, right? So that's a very big subjective thing. I always figure, you know, for someone living in a lower cost area of the world, you're selling to people all around the world, including people who have quite a bit of money or subjectively quite a bit of money in relation to other parts of the world. And so you're able to charge $100 for something that, you know, in many places would be like, that's too much. I can't afford that, but you're selling to people who can. So, all right, let's start with this question because it's the one that's already up here. I should move it over so you all can see. The question is about the audio clip combiner. Oh, yes. So this fellow here has a clip with the different hertz. I don't know if this is going to work. So this is an example of an audio file, some slash thing. And it's 48,000 hertz. Let's see. Downloads. Info. From this package. From the asset store. Wonderful. That's good. And he's trying to combine it with other stuff, and it's, well, sample rate is 96 hertz. That's double 48, right? So it must be stereo, 48,000 per track, so 96,000 hertz total. Okay. And the audio clip combiner apparently doesn't handle that well. So I had suggested that, let's see, is it here? Audio clip. I can't remember which project I was in. Combiner. No, it wasn't this project. Which project was I working in on this? Had to have been a recent one. Maybe, whoops, maybe it was the main project here. Game module. Oh yeah, maybe. Here we go. All right. So the audio clip combiner. This is the audio clip combiner. Looks pretty chaotic. Lots of colors. Well, that didn't work. This probably isn't the actual file. Let's see. Asset Store Projects, Asset Store Projects LTS. Yeah, it is the only one that has that. Okay, well, I don't know. Let's see. This is a tough one because I don't really sell audio clip combiner. It's just a thing I made and it's not super valuable. And I don't want to spend tons of time expanding it for one person. Not that I don't like this one person, but time is valuable. Stopped working. I have a really important notice that gives me error every compile. There may be related. Okay, so first of all, this is not an issue. This is a warning, not an error. This is a thing, so Hussein here, I'm pronouncing it maybe correctly, I don't know. It's probably incorrectly, so I apologize. This is a warning, not an error. It's just saying, hey, there's a variable that's assigned, but it's never used. Okay, it's not an issue. This one's also a warning, and this one's also a warning. Are any of these actual errors? I don't know. But, shoot. So, those seem to be warnings, not errors. They probably can be cleared from the console, right? Can you provide the 2 clips or more that you're trying to combine and the steps I can take to reproduce an error? I need to be able to reproduce an error is the thing. And these are just warnings. They're not issues. So I need to be able to reproduce an error. Without that, I can't really do anything. Hello, John, or Nick, rather. How are you doing? Human hairs to that I have a human hair shader for URP, right? I believe so. In the shared files, maybe somewhere. URP. No, those can't be it. Oh yeah, this one. In Magic Games. Oh, it's all the way at the top. It's in the main thing now. I must have moved it and forgotten I moved it. Which happens. What can you do? So it's going to be in the shaders, Magic Games, shaders, AV, hair, URP shader package. That should be the one to use. It should work. Should work. You have to install it because otherwise it throws an error. Because in a non-URP project, it throws an error. All right, next question. What do we got here? Remove elf hood. Hi all. probably a simple question, but I can't seem to find the modifier to remove the hood from the male elf character. So probably for the orc, but it doesn't seem to have any effect when clicking 0. This is on the elf character. So I think I know what's going on here. My guess is there's a misconception about the blend shapes versus the objects themselves. So if we load up the elf, Mr. Elf here, humans elf, and we look at the hoods, there they are, male hood. We wait for the rainbow wheel of doom and death and destruction. There we go. All right, so we have the hood here, and the screenshot appears to be of the blend shapes themselves. And whoops, wrong button. Where's Discord again? I can't see it. There it is. It's like body 23, head 56. There's a number of shapes. Way too many shapes. And somewhere there was a head. What was the head? See, I should have looked down far enough. It was the orc male hood. See, probably for the orc, but doesn't have clicking on 0. Yeah, so this is a shape that when it's on 0, and it should default to 0, should be changing the things, I think. I don't see any changes here unless it's in the back. I don't see any changes. Is that what he means? So basically at 0 is normal. 100 means, hey, if you're using the orc hood, if you are, bring that up. It's just a hacky shape just to account for one wardrobe object, really. Kind of silly. We're going to try to fix that in the future. Because, yeah. So, who is this? Why is this hidden? Oh, that's their name? Just that? Well, that's not helpful. Okay, so, let's see. 0 should mean no change in this case. And this shape is meant to be used only when the orc male hood wardrobe item is being used. Otherwise, it won't do anything. What was it that you were trying to achieve? That would be help. We'll find it, Nick. Wait a minute. This person's just named E ... That makes no sense. Why is everybody just named one word? I ... E ... Is that a new thing that people are doing? The bows. This is a tough question. The bows are from the Weapons and Armor Pack 1 from many years ago. And I always had trouble with them. Never was happy with the bows. What project do those exist in? I don't know. Armor? Maybe. This seems about right. Has the right naming convention. It's starred. Is that what it does? Streaming mode on Discord hides players' names. Does that mean... So I probably have streaming mode turned on, maybe? I don't know. So that when I'm here, we don't see everyone's names. You see some names. Right here. Alex Lutz. Maybe it's an option that they have to have turned on too. So if we look at the bows in different area codes, then we've got the bow 1 and 2. And these have a mesh renderer. I don't think we have a skinned mesh renderer for this. Yeah, I don't think these have a skinned mesh renderer. Do they? Did they at one point? I don't know at this point. I don't think they have one. I think to do a proper bow system, I would need to do it from the ground up. right? I am using OBS. I'd have to do it from the ground up and just be like, here's the structure of a bow system. I'd have to figure out how to do it first, and then produce bows that do exactly that. Separate the string from the bow, maybe. I don't even know. But right now, no, they don't. I swear they used to. Years ago. I'm talking about years ago. Many years ago. Many years ago. Bow rig. What's this? Cold storage. Bow rig. Let's see. This looks promising. Skin mesh render on this. Alright, let me pass this along and see if this works. I don't know if this is in... It's supposed to be in the humans package, it looks like. Maybe it is in the humans package. Well, let's pass this along. Bow skin mesh renderer. And we will see if this user is happy with this. Hopefully this works. Not sure if this will work, but give it a try. All right. Garbage materials. Hey, Javi, how are you doing? There's something about the Infinity PBR humans pack that likes to generate a bunch of extra materials upon opening the project for the first time or deleting temp libraries and reopening the project. This is interesting. Okay. I do not need these materials, and they're usually just blank. It's probably from the import settings. Yeah, that's my guess, is it's the imports. Yes. Yes, I was going to guess before seeing the second post that it's the import settings. Probably an option there to turn that off. Something I should probably learn about. Hair. Found the shader. Look at that. Okay, good. The HDRP hair shader is probably better to use. It's tough because they always change HDRP, as people know. This isn't, common info now. Yeah, we're coming back to this. Next, conditions, infinite. Hello, Tim. Here's a question from you. Let's see. With give condition, the effect works only the first time. The infinite option does nothing. What is MIA? Oh, sorry. MIA is missing in action. I shouldn't use acronyms. I was missing in action for a lot of the new year. A lot of family stuff, a lot of friend stuff, a lot of internet out working well stuff. And probably way too much civilization stuff. I can't even say the word civilization, right? Civilization stuff. Maybe here's the problem. Set periodic effect value is not in use and receive condition only. Okay, let's dig into this, Tim. I've got the project up, and let's load up our... What script are we looking at? Not Rider. We're going to load Rider. Discord. I rearranged some of these. Now I get confused. We are in game condition. Here we are. All right, game condition. We will close our friendly AI for now. Probably open our friendly AI later to make sure they know we like them. So when they take over the world, they reward us with glory and magnificence and all that stuff. Let's see. Discord. All right, so Tim, you were suggesting that set periodic effect value is not being used at all. Is it? Set periodic effect value. You're right. It's not being used at all. That makes no sense. What's it supposed to be doing? Manually set the value of a periodic effect between a min-max float value. Will return the new value if successful or -1 if not. Mean we are unable to find the effect change. I think this actually was meant to be not used. It's a manual thing. We're going to go to the support docs just to see, because sometimes I need to remind myself. Let's search for set periodic code examples, customize a periodic effect at runtime. Okay, so without modification, the periodic effects are calculated when the game condition object is created. If you'd like to specify the impact, you can use the set periodic effect method. Okay, so the instant health condition here is instant and applies and affects the health of the target. However, the min-max values are both 0, meaning without modification, this will not have any impact at all. The code below in damage actor will create a new game condition from the instant health condition, and then set the value using game condition.set periodic effect value method, passing in the health stat object and the min-max value. So this method, the method will choose a random value between the min-max. This is where you can customize things a little bit more. So if you have a more complex setup that isn't, basically this the effects here are relatively basic. You can get pretty complex with all of this, but it is still limited to what you can do. But with the set periodic, you can do more advanced stuff with your own methods. So right here we are saying create a new game condition. So a generic damage method which uses the condition called instant health, which has one instant impact on the points of health stat and on the target. So damage actor, the amount, target. Create a new game condition, set the impact. So we create the game condition with new game condition, instant health condition, which is right here, that one. Targets, conditions, that's the conditions of the target, the repository for all the conditions on that target. And then the actor is the source, the caster, if you will, the giver of the condition. And then damage inflicted is going to be set. We're going to call on that new game condition, set periodic values. Health is going to be set, affected by negative damage amount and negative damage amount. So basically, it's the same value. We're saying, hey, affect the health by this amount. It's going to be a random between the two, but they're the same, so no random. The method will return the final impact. So that's what that method is doing. It's meant to be not called by the script. That's a manual thing you can call. This one though is, let's see, receive condition uses only do instant actions. Pass the complete game condition to the game condition list and set stats dirty. Receive condition. We have a debug log that I should probably remove. Transferred is receive the transfer, so you get back the transferred ones. You set the stats dirty, and you do the instant actions. The instant actions are meant to only happen once. Those aren't the periodic actions. So if we look at real quick, maybe I should load up the demo project actually. Let's see. Let's load up that. Party-based RPG. Because this has some periodic effects in it. And I think, Tim, you were citing this earlier in the thread as well. Ooh, my friend messaged me. Oh, I can't watch this right now. It's a video. I'll have to watch it later. All right, so here we do have some conditions set up, such as debuffs. We have a poison, which is periodic. So right here, effects on points, periodic. So it lasts for 4 minutes. We'll close the condition time to clean this up. So it's periodic, repeats every 1 in-game minutes. Hit points is -1 to -1. And then if the caster has water magic as a stat, that skill, then the impact on health will be increased by a -0.1 to 0.2 randomized value between those per final stat in that water of the caster, of the giver of the So that should work. Let's see. All right. I think I was actually testing this last time to see. So here's our poison. We have our character 1 selected on the left. We hit the space bar. Now we should see everyone in game minute. Yeah, more health go down. So that is happening. And it should last for 4 minutes. And this poison right here should disappear. And there it goes. All right. So that is working. So the problem that Tim was facing was that it wasn't working. So we see the issue, right? Originally, add a condition to the player character's die condition is poison infinite and reduce the health points infinite and periodic is minutes. So the setup for this is periodic, repeat every minute, health stats -5, -5, and it lasts for infinite. So let's just change poison to be infinite and see if that's the issue here. Right, he's got infinite does not expire. We have infinite does not expire. So we'll now give ourselves poison infinitely, and it doesn't expire, and see if that is somehow causing an issue. Why am I suddenly facing the wrong way? There we go. All right. Oh, I gave it to the wrong character, but that's okay. It's the third character has it, and it seems to be working still. Now it should never expire. Interesting. Okay, so we do have a reproduction here. We are now going up in the minutes because it's infinite, so it's just counting the time to since it was given. But look, it's not going down anymore. So that does seem to be a reproducible issue, Tim. So let's dig into it. Where does all this happen? Right there. All right. So we're in a game condition here. So periodic, do instant actions, periodic actions. Here we go. If parent is not periodic and we are not ignoring periodic, then we return. So we do point actions. So I'm going to do right here. We're going to do a debug log. Debug.log point actions. So let's just see if this is going to spit out for us. Make sure we're on the right track. Figuring out where this code is going astray, awry, incorrect, and wrong. If I can orient myself. All right. I see none. I see none. So that does not appear to be firing. All right. Point actions happens on game condition periodic actions. Debug.log periodic actions. And this happens with game condition check periodic time. Keep doing this until end time is reached. This could be the issue here, but let's debug.log loop periodic actions. All right, let's check these, see if we get any of those out. Hello, G Trace, how are you? All right. Still no debug logs. Why not? Why aren't we getting debug logs? And we see the health going down, so it's definitely doing something here, right? But it's not showing me. And that makes me wonder why the heck it's not. Set up game conditions. Ooh, obsolete. That could be why it's not doing it. I made some obsolete code when I updated stuff. Use game modules repository instance as set up game condition instead. So let's go to our game conditions list, because this should be, it's all automatic. So game condition. Hey, why aren't you finding it? Go to file. Game condition. It's not finding it at all. Well, that's annoying. Game condition list. Am I just in? That's weird. Oh, because I switched projects, maybe? I don't know. What project is this? Astro game module? Yeah, okay, whatever. I just do need to remember, if I change anything, gotta move it to the main project, because otherwise, yeah. So what are we looking for? We are looking for set game condition. Start actions. Game condition, set parent list, set game condition, setup. Modules helper, set up game conditions. Set game conditions. Periodic, start coroutine, check periodic time. My guess is this is the issue, okay? I think the reason why we were not getting any debugs is I was putting the debugs in the wrong code, the wrong project. I was doing the Game Modules 4 project, but working on the demo project now. So my guess is that right here, it's not checking for infinite. While end time is less than now, or it's infinite. So this should fix it, I think. Keep doing this until end time is reached, or forever if infinite. Let's see if that works first. And I want to check to see, do we need to manually remove that loop if it's destroyed or removed as a condition? All right, so let's just see. It should go for ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Do you making a full game? I mean, sure. There we go. I think it's fixed, Tim. I think that was the issue. But let's confirm that it works when I don't have that checked too, just to make sure something weird didn't happen. Debuffs are here. Poison. I'm working on the Legend of the Stones Play Plus, but this is not Legend of the Stones. Although a lot of this is essentially the same concepts of Legend of the Stones. This is just the demo scene for the game modules 4. So let's just make sure that now it will expire properly. Wait for in-game minutes. Ah, you want the screenshot. That sweet, sweet screenshot. All right, it went away. So that works there. So this is the code. It will be in the next update, of course, but here is the code right here. Just this bit right there. And we will encircle this addition with a nice rounded corner bit. Done. Son. Sorry it took so long to figure that little line out. I appreciate your patience as always. There we go. Now I need to make sure I move this over to the other one. But I wanted to check... check periodic time. Happens. This is the obsolete one. Where was it set? More messages from my friends. gosh. Huh. All right, so so I start the coroutine. Do I need to end the coroutine if this object is deleted, removed? This isn't where I started though, because this part's obsolete. Where was it that we started? It's right here. We can't start a coroutine for non-mono behavior, so we use this helper, modules helper, to start a coroutine on the game condition. Okay, I'm gonna ask the AI. Let's ask our friendly AI. I don't know if I just don't know. I think maybe we do. I'm starting this coroutine on an object. The routine may run forever, but the condition on the actor may be removed, in which case the coroutine would be stopping. Do I need to call to stop the coroutine myself, or will that be automatic? I think it might be automatic, actually. Coroutines do not stop automatically. You need coroutine to stop. You copy coroutine explicitly. If a game object is destroyed on which coroutine running, the coroutine also stops. So it is. So if the actor is removed or the game object, the game condition is removed, then the coroutine will stop. Okay, so I don't need to do the explicit stopping because it will do it. So that's good. Good, John. I'm glad. That's my process. That's the thing. That's the thing I go through. All right, so we updated because I need to not forget the game condition. So we're gonna just export this one file here, game condition. Export this because I tend to forget game condition, so I have to do this part. Otherwise, I will get myself all screwed up, and unfortunately, sometimes that means I'll get you all screwed up too. So we need to go to the asset store here and update my notes on the latest version to say what we have updated. It's being slow. Packages, game modules for it's still being slow. Draft mode. Let me see it here. Game modules 4. I last updated this 7 days ago. Release notes. Update game utilities. Type namespace is allowed to method handle null values. Somebody emailed me about that overnight, actually. I told them it's going to be fixed in the next update. We also updated game condition to fix periodic action bug when infinite is checked. Save that. All right, so I'll update this later now. Maybe later, because I might do a little bit more updating on game modules. But before anything else, we're going to import that package and make sure we save the changes, these beautiful, sweet changes. Oh, God. I just realized I'm pretty sure that the sample project was up to date itself, but that is an issue if I think the sample project is up to date and it's not, and then I make one change there, I could end up overwriting a bunch of other changes, but I think it's fine. All right, so that's that. I'm glad we got that solved, Tim. Conditions are not added. Duffman, hello. Found the issue and how to fix it. Using another plugin that also has a condition class. This means inside utilities condition array function, the asset database finance call is not capable to know the type of condition. Oh, interesting. Able to fix it by changing the line 380 of that file for one of this or this. Interesting. All right, so let's dig into this code because this is an interesting bit of code as well. The properties on game modules is a very cool feature in my opinion. It basically, actually, we should load up the other project again to demonstrate this, because the other project has the properties file already there. The properties makes it easy to call up your data without having to remember unique IDs or other stuff like that. If you change the name of a stat, like, you know, let's say your stat is health, and then later in the game development process you change it to hit points, then you will have to change some of your code, because it is an explicit bit of code that you would be doing there. But you'd see the errors. It's pretty easy to fix that in properties. So this code is actually created automatically for you. That's why it's formatted like this, because I haven't loaded it yet. But if we just do this and this, Writer will reformat it. And it basically has a whole bunch of properties. So you can find out the types of different things and get the result. I don't know why you would need that, but I guess if you're just doing human readable words, you can just have that. But it allows you to get the UIDs of things. It allows you to get the objects themselves from the repository. So you can get the actual scriptable object by just saying properties, armor objects, or let's see, it would be properties, item objects, armor objects, dot, chain armor, and you would then get that scriptable object. So you can do explicit coding on that type of stuff. So it's super helpful. The question here is that the conditions wasn't populating for this user. I wasn't able to replicate it. They worked perfectly fine for me. And turns out that they have a different asset in their project that has conditions. And so they're saying that on line 380 of probably utilities condition array function. So it must be utilities. Let's see, utilities, probably game modules utilities. I don't think it's regular utilities. Is it just regular utilities? 380. Oh, it is. He did say utilities. So that was, so he's saying basically make it explicit, which makes sense, because I'm saying just load conditions, and up here at the top we're probably saying well, it's part of the namespace Infinity PBR modules, and so it knows itself, right? So that's fine. But in a case where there is another group called conditions, he's saying just do that. So we're going to add a note here real quick. Jan 7, 2024. We're living in the future. UFOs are real. It's an amazing time to be alive. Scary time. Exciting time. AI. No self-driving cars. More friend text. No, cause I'm live and didn't want to stop the stream. That's why. But maybe a bit nervous. All right, that we're gonna explicitly call that in cases of projects that have another condition. But does that mean we need to change this to other places? Because this is hard code here, explicitly. Explicitly. Is that how you spell it? We're calling this dot condition. So is there going to be more find assets? Yes, there are. So we're going to do that to all of these. Oops. So that if your project has other things, that are quests or loot boxes or whatever they may be. Whoops, wrong thing. Find assets or stats or whatever, then this should no longer be an issue for you or them or the other people or your parents or your siblings or your dirty friends. Your friends aren't dirty. Some of them might be. Who am I to know? I don't know your friends. I mean, I actually might know some of your friends just randomly because it's a small world in the end, right? So that's possible, but I don't know that I know your friends. Okay, let's reply. That makes a lot of sense. Thanks for finding that. I'll be updating dating that script, the next update with the fix for all of those find asset methods. So let us. I should have just changed this in the other one. Let me just do that. Good practice. Change it in the right one. Utilities. So we're going to redo that work. New window. Find assets. I got a copyright hit on one of these streams last time with the music from Artlist, and I need to reply to them because it's very annoying. I subscribed, I have the rights, and they've even said I have the rights, but now they need me to send them all this random stuff. And I'm like, why are you running systems that will put strikes on people who have the rights when you know they have the rights? It's a bad taste in my mouth. All right, so that should be that solved. Let me put the note up here as well. Updated utilities.cs find asset methods to explicitly call objects from their full name. To avoid issues when your project has other classes of the same name in a different namespace. All right, not the wrong save, this save. All right, so that should solve that. And here is the class itself. So if this user wants to just update it, here's the updated class. All right. Fresh project import issues from Sammy. Hello, Sammy. Hello there. I just purchased Game Modules 4. I like you for that. By the way, Game Modules 4 is on sale right now. 50% off. For who knows how long. Probably not more than a day or two longer. I can't imagine the New Year sale will go on much longer. Few editor errors. Also, when I... Wait a minute. Has Tim been helping? Tim, have you been helping? Clear the console. Everything's fine. Let's see. Maybe. Oh, no. This is that bug that's been fixed. Thanks, Tim, for helping, by the way. This should be fixed in the next update. The issue is the text field is null, and the system doesn't like that. I believe if you populate the text field under the text box with basically anything, the error will go away. And it should never come back. And I think, Tim, that's why you probably couldn't replicate it, because once it's populated, it's there. And it only happens in a new project, which is why I never found it either, because it only happens in a brand spanking new project. And it happens because the stat type is null. But that is the thing that was listed here as update game modules utilities type name is allowed. Or game utilities, rather. We can actually pass that. Oh, is it game module utilities? Is allowed. Yeah. So this is the line that was added, basically. So let me be more explicit. Game module utilities. Yeah, Yeah, so this was the line that was added right here. If it's null or empty, if it's not null or empty and all that, then we do that. Otherwise, we say it's not allowed. And then I believe it magically changes it to some other string, just sets it as something that is allowed, or something like that. Something like that. So I'm going to export this for this nice person. Game module utilities replace. And there it is. This should be the updated script, which should fix it, I think. I hope. Alright, so that's that. And then general. Oh yeah, look at that. Your name is hidden in streaming mode. Are you saying, Nick, that you have a problem with the shader still? Is there still an issue? Or was it solved? I thought it was solved, but maybe it wasn't. All right, so this is the other thing. This is the bigger project that this user M something was having trouble with. So the dictionaries, the dictionaries accept a lot of different types, game module types, but they don't currently accept lookup tables. If we hop over to this, we can look up our lookup tables. We see these lookup tables here. Here's one on the side here, and your lookup tables is a stat bonus lookup table. You've got all these inputs, and it will give you an output. So this is very similar to Might and Magic 678, which games I love, where they basically say as your stats go up, the actual value of that stat isn't as high. So clearly, as you get here, you need a lot more stats in order to get just a little bonus. And you can get some negative bonuses too. So if your stats are really low, then your attack or other things might be negatively affected. You really need a value of 13 to have no effect at all and just be at baseline. Lookup tables are really cool. If we create a new one, game modules, oh, we don't create them this way anymore. We create them this way. Lookup, oh gosh, oh goodness. Lookup tables. We can create a new one. We'll call it test 2. Or actually create a new one here, sorry. Test 2. I always write test as tesset as I type too fastest. This is interesting. What's happening here? It won't let me create this. This could be a bug with my fix, actually. Is it a bug with my fix? Did I update it here too? I don't think I did. Game module utilities. Why does this look very different from the other one? Uh-oh. Is this an uh-oh situation or not an uh-oh situation? Let's see. This is a game modules 4. This is not game modules 4. Or this is, but this is the project. And these look quite different. We have these starts with invalid character here, which implies I didn't update the party-based RPG at some point. Because we had a bug, and I think Tim, I think you were the one. Bye, Tim. So I'm talking to you, but you just said bye. But bye, Tim. I think you were the one who had this issue with the invalid characters at the start with the underscore. So I add this, but I never updated it here. So what we're going to do then is... what are we going to do? We're going to do all this in the game modules for 1 rather than the demo project 1. So quit that. I'll update that later. I'll have to remember to do that. All right. So let's make sure everything's working properly. So we're going to create a new object here. We're going to go to our lookup tables, create a new test table, and we will say it is testing and create that. So now it's here in our lookup tables. Here it is, test table. So that's our table there. You can see it here. You can see it here. We change this here. It should change everywhere. Use input curves. No. Which one do I want to change to? It should change it down here. There it is. It changed it down here as well. So you can edit it in either way. I'm going to edit it here in the big window. So lookup tables can do a few things. You can just do explicit values. So you can just, you can add values explicitly. You can add a bunch. So I can add 10 values starting at 0, incrementing by 1. Output minimum is 5. Output maximum is, say, 500. Add 10, and then it just does the math for you. So you can do that way. You can do them one by one. So add one, add many. Or you can add by curves. So you can use an input curve, and you can use an output curve. And then let's do our input is going to be between 1 and max of, say, 200. And our output curve is going to be between -6 and, say, 50. And then it does the math for you. We can add rows. Let's say we want to do a total of 20 rows. So we're going to add 17 rows. And then as you change the curve, it changes the values. So you can, get a curved result if you want to get the result that may feel more organic. Now, you can also, of course, not use the input curve, and then you can set these yourself to specific values. And same for the output. So you can do lots of different things with the lookup tables. So we're going to leave it as this because it doesn't really matter what our goal here. Our goal here is going to be making lookup tables work with the dictionaries. So now we have a lookup table object to work with. And now we need another object to work with. Let's say apple. Actually, let's create another test one so we can just delete all these. We're going to take a item object, create a test object with lookup table. And there's going to be a new type of test object and create that. So now we have our object with a lookup table. If we look at our dictionaries here, we have to go to... Let's see. How do we do this again? Wait a minute. Why is it showing up? No. We're looking at Apple. The reason why we don't see it here is because all the objects need to have that. So if I go back to types, there we go. Test objects, dictionary structure, lookup table. Add to all those. Now when we go back, we have that there. Maybe I should put a note that when it is empty, so click on types, because you have to, all objects of the same type have to have the same dictionary structure. That's just a contract, basically. That way you don't have to add to each one. They might start out null, but at least they'll exist. Wow, I look so blurry in this. My quality is set to 240. Maybe that's why. Let me reset my quality on the stream. See what my... Oh, I'm a lot less blurry now. Ha! That was the issue before. I need more coffee. I should tell my friend I'm bringing her mushrooms later. Because I am. I'm going to walk to her house and bring her mushrooms. My other friend came over and we made pizza. And she had brought mushrooms, and I think mushrooms are fucking disgusting. Later, I'm going to walk over and bring you mushrooms and onions. Will you be home or out? Or just will you be home? I don't know when yet. I don't know when yet, but after the stream, I'm going to walk over and bring her the mushrooms. I'm not going to use them, but I don't want them to go to waste. I'm not a heathen. All right, so in our dictionary structure here, we have our lookup tables. If we go back to our item objects, here is where you can now add different things. So they all have to have lookup tables, but whether they're populated or not, that's up to you. So as you see here, of all different items, we have loot boxes, loot items, but no lookup tables. It should be right here between those two. Yeah. Oh, these aren't alphabetical though, so there's no lookup table. That's the thing. So in order to get this to work, we're going to need to do a few changes. There's going to be a few places, and I might forget where everything gets changed. So I just had an ad pop up for myself. Not for me, but for some other crap thing. All right. Types. Okay, let's start here. And we're going to just use loot items as the lookup table. Is it lookup table or lookup tables? Lookup table. Okay. It's not plural. I didn't think it was, but I wanted to check. So we have lookup table now. Where else is loot items listed? Just once there? All right. Is it going to magically work with just that? Was I super smart earlier in my life when I set this up? Let's see. So now we go back to our items. I shouldn't have gone back. We are here. Lookup table, not listed there. Okay, so this is... I guess I should go and check where types is used. 7 usages of types. Key value dot types. I pretty sure I tried to make this very agnostic to the types so that later I could add new types easily. So what I'm wondering is why it's not showing up here. So I need to find the editor version of this. Dictionaries editor probably, or something like that. Dictionaries drawer editor. And we'll add list type. There we go. For each, blah, 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 blah. Pop up, selected index, available types. Get available types. Types, where type. First default type is now null to array. What? Types is dictionary.types. Game modules 4. We are in the right thing, right? Maybe it needs to reset. Let me close the tab and we will load the window up again. Where did I keep it? Game modules manager window. Let's dock that back up. Maybe it just needed to recache. We were working with items, right? Yeah. Huh. Interesting. All right. That wasn't it. We did save and it did reload this, right? Sometimes I find that Writer doesn't actually, what's the term? This doesn't recompile. It doesn't appear to be recompiling. Maybe that's the issue. We just add another space there. Things aren't recompiling. We are in Game Modules 4, right? Yeah, okay. We're not making that mistake again. And this is Game Modules 4. Let's just do another one here. No. What's going on? I see the reset cache bit, but this part doesn't appear to be recompiling. Usually when you save something, here it does a blue thing, a little just loading the stuff. All right, so let's try something else. Try the old turn it off and turn it back on again thing. Did everyone have a good New Year? Is New Year, I know there is the Lunar New Year. Aside from Lunar New Year, I think everyone, or most people in the world, many people in the world, I don't know how many people, but I'm assuming it's most people in the world, celebrate New Year. Even folks who celebrate Lunar New Year will celebrate the other New Year, right? Often. Is this the one holiday, the most widely celebrated holiday in the world? Let's ask. What is... It defaults sometimes to 3.5, and if you don't notice, I think they do that to save money. What is... Oh, you had COVID during it. That's too bad. Most widely celebrated holiday event during and around the world. I think it is New Year's. That's my guess. New Year's Day. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? This Gregorian guy made a calendar. Now everyone celebrates it. But that's because it's so agnostic. It's just like everybody can deal with it, you know? There's no religion involved. There's no politics involved. There's no cultural things involved, except for the whole Lunar New Year and other calendars that have different New Years. But they can still celebrate this one too, because we've all somehow agreed that we're working on with this one calendar, which is very convenient. Why does this look different? Oh, because we have both of these. That's why. Both of these were showing. All right, so nope, still not showing up here. Interesting. Add list type. Okay. Exit this. We're going to quit that and try a different tactic. Dictionaries drawer editor. Let it do its thing. And then we're going to look for, again, add list type right here. The list type, selected string, equals the available type, so the pop-up. A pop-up that has the available types. Key value available types. Key value available types is going to be get available types, which is types where type first or default. Where dynamic equals type equals null. So basically where the list, the key value list, doesn't already have a type. So once we have int, we shouldn't have no more int in this. But we should have lookup tables in this. Lookup table, rather. Because it's pulling it from types. Which is enum get names types of dictionaries dot types. Which is this. And it didn't save. Interesting. So that's why I was saying what I'm looking for is this. I was looking for this reload assemblies, all that, and it wasn't happening before. For whatever reason. Lookup table. There we go. Add. Okay, so we'll delete the int. Type it. Actually, let's bring back the int because add value is not showing up here. So we probably need to add some other type of logic. So we can add values. Add value. Probably the drawer editor. Add value. Okay, so if button, add value, if these. What is the lookup table most like? It is most like something like a item attribute. We'll just add that. And so what we're really looking for in our code is if type name equals item attribute, then we will do it here. So we're going to copy this, paste this, do look up table. So if the type name is lookup table, then we're going to look for an object called lookup table or accept an object of type lookup table. New value is going to be the object field type of lookup table. If the value object does not equal that, then we're going to set it to be that. Those should be fine, and that should be fine. That should pop up here now. Oh, we're going to have to go back this way. Did not pop up there. There's probably another bit where we have this. Right here probably. Look up table. Lookup table. And then right here as well. We will copy, paste. Anywhere else? Just those. Let's see. Let's see if it works now. There it is. Test lookup table. It's in there, but it's not showing up here. If we add an item attribute, it does show up there. So we need to this is interesting. I probably have a debug. This type is part is probably a debug for that. I forgot to erase. Type is right here. It was helpful for me to find it though, because the type is obvious. It's up there. So if the type is interesting. How many times do we say this? Just once. If the type name is stat, then label stats. Interesting. Why do we have that? Now I've removed that, so will both of these go away? Didn't update, and now it's updating. Yes, so that part went away. All right, so show object field, and then the move up. So this is the actual object right here, is this show object field. Okay. And so there we go. We've got some custom code for each of the types on how to show it right here. If it's lookup table. Oh, okay. Did I miss something? Object, value object, type of lookup table. Interesting. Why is it giving me a null reference? Let's see. All right, so it's giving me null reference on 180. Um, 517. So if the value is not equal to the new value, so currently the value is empty or null. We're going to put in a new value, and we're going to say if it's not, then we're going to set object to the new value. Type of lookup table. Interesting. Let's do a debug here. So in this bit here, we're just going to check to see is it new. Debug.log. We're going to say new lookup table added, and it's going to be called the value object dot name. And we're going to see if it spits out the proper name. At this point in the operations, it did not. In fact, it's saying it's null. Interesting. Value object. New value is null. New value equals null. My autocomplete isn't working right. I think I need to go back to Copilot for the autocomplete. Ryder's AI is great for chatting, but I don't think their autocomplete is as good as Copilot's. New value is null. True, 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 true. Let's collapse. And we're going to look for a false. Let's see. It was false for one, and then it was no longer false. Or, yes, it was then true. Immediately after. See, right here. Immediately after, then it was null. Which, sorry. My apologies. To your earbuds. Which is weird. Why is that? It's not null, and then all of a sudden, it is null. Oh, I was new value. I should be saying new value here. So that could be my fault. And let me remove this debug because that's just going to spam everything. We'll see. Clear. Adding test table. Okay, so that it is working there. It's just not working here. Set object. Lookup table. Well, let's set object. Debug.log. Set object. Type of. Yeah, it's not working at all. I've gotten so used to it just working, you know. Value dot or type of value. Type of T, maybe type of T. Called value.name. Nah, can't do that because it doesn't necessarily know what type it is. Let's see if this gets us any closer. All right, it knows it's a lookup table. We're still getting the null reference, and we're getting it on 181, which is now here. Debug.log. Value is null. Value equals null. Check for that. One step at a time. One day the AI will do this for me. It's not null. It's a lookup table, and then it's immediately null. Reference exception. 182. Ah. What's this? Aha. We haven't updated it here. This is probably the issue then. Dictionaries. Lookup table. Type name is lookup table. Value. Lookup table. Lookup table. Lookup table. Constructor. New value. Maybe that will solve it. Did not. Set object lookup table. Type of lookup table. To string for the object value. Then this goes to object value. Then this calls dictionaries object.set. And this has all these overrides. Let us to statement by debug.log lookup table set new value equals null. Value is null. Let's see if that calls. I'm getting bored by this bug. That's what I'm getting. Changed nothing. Excuse me. All right. What the F is going on here? Dictionaries object set. Null reference exception. It's not null. We're passing in something that's not null. So we go to the set. It's an abstract. But how do we find out which one it's calling? What is the dictionary's object? Dictionary's object. It's going to be the dictionary's object. So that's going to be this dictionary's object. And we have all these overrides. Let's check to make sure we have it everywhere. Do we have it here? We don't have it here. That could be it then. Look up table. So that's going to be a mental note for the future. That I pretty much need to search for everywhere that something like this is and make sure that there's a version for a lookup table or the new thing that we are adding. See, here there's not. So let's add it. Lookup table. New dictionaries lookup table. Lookup table. There we go. So this is the learning here, is that every time we need to add a new type, we need to just go through that whole list and make sure there's one version of each of those methods for that. Or get smarter and figure out how to make that completely agnostic, which might be possible, might not be, I don't know. Let's see if it works. Test table. It still didn't work. WTF. Okay. Loot box has 19. Lookup table has 12. Well, there you go. Loot box. There's still a bunch of loot box references that are not having an analog for lookup table. It could be these. We can probably remove this zombie code now from almost a year ago. So now there's 12. There's now lookup table. There's now 13. Oh, 12. Okay. So there's 12 and 12. So it should be working there. We've gotten everything there. But how about this? Lookup table has 10. Loot boxes has 9. Lookup table. Loot box. Just make sure everything has its analog. Lookup table. Okay, so there must be another method. Maybe this. Nope, 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 nope. Debug.log test. I think that's right there. I think we don't need to even add that debug log. Oh yeah. Okay. So this is the part that's running. This is being called. Value is no false. And then the error again. So is being called. Set is going. But where is set happening? Which set? This set? One of these overrides must be going, right? I don't know. Dictionaries, loot, lookup, table. This is not being called. I expect this to be called, but it's not being called. Type of lookup table. Value is not null. It's doing set. Dictionaries, loot, lookup table. Weird. Do I need to set it here? Maybe. Yeah, maybe I do. Let's see. Lookup table is populated here already. All right, maybe that was it. Let's see. I really hope it was. Because I don't like this bug. Nope. Why? What is it doing? What the heck did I do before that's making this so complicated, convoluted, complex? Well, I did just update that one, right, to have the explicit Jan 7, didn't I? Was that not here? Dot find. Is lookup table not a game module object? It should be. It's a module scriptable object just like the rest. Right? Not game item, just item object. Modules. Scriptable object. Okay. So it is a module scriptable object like the rest. What did I just change? I changed the game modules utilities. Type name is allowed. That wasn't the issue. Utilities. Maybe it's utilities that I need to update then. I should write this down. Utilities. Got some dramatic music for this here. And find assets. This is old. We don't use that anymore. Wait a minute. What's going on? Didn't I just update this file? Didn't I literally just update this? Did it not save? Wait a minute. How is this? This is very confusing. So I updated the utilities find asset methods to explicitly call their full name. And I added this. And now, in that script, it's not at all doing that. Find assets. Also, stats and skills is not the type we use. It's stat. All right, let's do ourselves a favor here. Just quickly sanity check with the party-based RPG. See what that looks like. Did I change it there? And it did work. This is confusing me. And it might be related to the fact that it wasn't saving things for some stupid reason. Utilities. Utilities. New window. Huh. Okay. So it changed it here. But not there. So how many lines do we have? It's the same number of lines, one extra line. Where is that one extra line come from? I don't know. Just do some sanity checking here. Line 129 is blank. 229 is a blank line. 350 is public that with a line before it. 444 is not blank. 431 is not blank. 402, 401, 373 is public this, 373 is public that, 396. Okay, so it's just this. All right, so I'm going to copy this all. Paste that. Go back to our main project here. 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 4th time's charm. See if that fixed it. That was weird. I don't know why. That didn't fix it, but... let's make sure it actually imports, though. I don't know why I didn't save before. Alright, but anyways, it didn't fix the problem. I was hoping that would, but it didn't. Oh, but what we didn't do was add it here, right? Dot lookup. Oh, we did. Dot loot box. Get loot box array. Get lookup table array. But these aren't even being called. Lookup table array is. Where is it being called? This is being called on the repository. All right, so I don't think this is the issue then. This appears to be fine. As far as I can tell, it appears to be fine. Okay. Then line 188, we have dictionaries objects.set still. It should be setting it on the proper dictionaries objects, but it's not. How can we find out which one it's going to be using? Debug.log. Let's just print that and see what that gives us. My guess is maybe it's using the wrong one or something. It just says dictionaries objects. Okay, well, is dictionaries objects dot type name maybe? This might illuminate something. Why did I press play? I didn't need to press play. So this is null. Dictionary objects is null. Okay. Debug.log is null. That could be the issue then. New lookup table added. Test table. let's see if that null check comes through. Okay, so dictionary's object is null. Dictionary's object, where is this set for key value object? Let's restart. How about that? Lookup table, add test object. Oh, so maybe the issue was just that it was null before, and once it was null, that it couldn't change it because it was null, so it had nothing to change it to. It didn't know the type because it was null, and it shouldn't be null because you can't make it null. Or you can, I guess, none. But then you have this issue, so it resets. So you can't make it null, but it was null. But let's just check that. It's kind of it's not really a bug per se. It's an edge case bug, I suppose. Let's do another one. We'll create a second one, test 2. And then we'll go back to our item objects here. And change this to test 2, and that works fine. All right, so the issue was that it was null. This field was null. That was the issue. It's fine otherwise. And that's an edge case. It shouldn't happen. It was only happening because I didn't have all the other things populated when I first clicked that button. So now it's working. So the answer to our user in Discord. Let me add it here. Dictionaries added the ability to include lookup table objects in dictionaries. So this should work. I'm going to say that this will come in the next update. I believe this will work in the next update. Next update should, which should be today. Let me know if it doesn't work, if you find any bugs, but I was able to add lookup tables to the dictionaries. All right, so that's that. I think that is good. That's what I really wanted to do. I was gonna go do some projectile stuff too, but it's been a little bit. It's been a couple hours, and I think it's time to go outside. Garbage. I'll look at them. My friend who left the mushrooms thinks that they're no good anymore. It's been a week, but we'll see. So thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, come to the Discord. Don't forget, if you do intend to buy anything from... Whoops, not that button. If you do intend to buy anything from the asset store, I always appreciate if you go to infinitypbr.com, click the See All Assets button, and that is my affiliate link. It's also in the description below. And then we get a small cut if you do buy anything from the asset store. Right now, there is the New Year sale. It's ending soon. There's some cool Infinity PBR stuff, including the Game Modules 4, which you were just looking at and will be updated shortly, is 50% off right now. This website is slow. And then there's other stuff that's 50% off right now as well. And if you have I think if you spend $100 or $50 or something, you use this code, and you'll get a little 10% boost. So an extra 5% off the full price, 10% off the sale price, if you're spending over a certain amount. So make use of that. Thank you very much for hanging out. Had a great time. I will be back again soon. Hopefully this means I'm back on track. Just need to not be addicted to civilization anymore and spend less time with my family and friends. I'm not sure about that last part. But thank you all for hanging out, and I'm going to find this button to end the stream. Thank you.